hijack and hostage. The American people are being held hostage, and the process has been totally hijacked. We've heard repeatedly how simple, how nonpartisan, how easy the bill that Leader Thune has shown us today in terms of keeping the government open, how easy that is to vote for, to give us the 7 weeks while we work out our differences. But not only am I on leadership, I'm also on the Senate Appropriations Committee. The process of appropriating has been hijacked. And that's fine for the Democrats, because last year Chuck Schumer did not put one single appropriations bill on the Senate floor. Our leader has put 3 on the Senate floor, and our committee has passed 8 bills out of appropriations. That's the process to get the will of the American people, where their priorities are, where they want to see us as a nation go with spending their hard-earned tax dollars. So while we have held hostage the American people to keep them from doing things that they like touring the Capitol or accessing benefits or the services that are provided by our federal government, they've also hijacked a process that we need to have in order to demonstrate to the American people what we promised them in this election and what President Trump promised them. We're going to go back to regular order. We're going to appropriate the dollars. We're going to be fully transparent. And we're not going to ride on some continuing resolution that spends like President Biden wanted to spend. We're going to put our own imprint on this for the American people. That's what they wanted when they voted us in, and that's what we want to give them. Thank you.
I want to thank all the senators for being here with us and the House leadership team. These folks have worked very hard. I really appreciate that context that Chairwoman Moore Capito just added here, reminding everyone that this has been a bipartisan process. The appropriators are doing their work. Republicans are in charge of Congress in both chambers, and we are returning the work of Congress back to regular order. But it takes time to do that. We have to rebuild muscle memory. As noted, Chuck Schumer didn't do that process at all. And so it's hard work. It takes a lot of time on the calendar, and all we're asking for is a little extra time. We took the liberty this morning to play the highlight reel of everything our Democrat colleagues have said for the last several decades about shutdowns. Use their own words. We'll roll that out, and it'll be in the hallway for you later today. You can see that as well. To remind everyone that they always said that shutting the government down would be dangerous, destructive, selfish, and irresponsible. And suddenly now they've changed their tune. Don't buy it. The American people are not buying it. Chuck Schumer was reminded of a New York Times poll that came out yesterday. 65% of respondents are saying to the Democrats, do not shut the government down if you don't get what you want. I think that number is going to rise dramatically as the pain increases, and it is the pain that they have caused. We'll take a few questions. Yes, the House will be returning next week, and they would be here this week, except that we did our work. We passed the bill almost 2 weeks ago out of the House and sent it to the Senate. The ball is literally in Chuck Schumer's court, so he determines that. Now, as you all know, today and tomorrow we recognize the Yom Kippur, the Jewish high holiday, so that's always traditionally a day that Congress doesn't work. We respect that tradition. And so Friday would have been the first legislative day in the House, but there is nothing truly that we can do much on the floor while the lights are almost literally out here. We have to open the government. The first, the simplest, the most important job of Congress is keeping the government working for the people. All the Democrats have always said that until this week. Yes. Well, I don't know. I've talked to one of them on the phone, okay? We have open dialogue all the time, but here's the simple fact. There isn't anything we can do to make this bill any better for them. We literally did not put one single partisan provision in the bill. There's no policy riders, there's no gimmicks and no tricks. Now, we could have done that. I had a lot of colleagues that wanted us to load this up with our priorities, but the leaders decided that we should do this in good faith, simply to buy more time, again, for the appropriations process to work. That's all this is. So there's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing that we can pull out of this bill to make it any leaner or cleaner than it is. It's absolutely sparkling clean, and it's only 24 pages long, okay? We're carrying it around as an exhibit. You've all read it, I hope. Everybody can read this. It's very, very simple, and there's not much more to it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. This is an extraneous matter right now. What the Democrats are doing is trying to grab a red herring. They're trying to bring in a December policy decision, which, by the way, is expiring because they themselves, the Democrats, put that into law. They had the expiration date set by themselves. But that is not a decision that has to be made until the end of the year, December 31. They're trying to bootstrap that and bring it into this very simple, very clean decision of a September funding stopgap. Don't buy it. They're grasping at straws because they want to have something to argue. They're claiming that Republicans are hurting health care. You should go read Chuck Schumer's counterproposal for the CR. We have a clean CR. They have a dirty CR, okay? And one of the reasons it's so dirty is because they wanted to cut $50 billion from the rural hospital fund that we all work so hard to put into the American taxpayers' tax cut, American families' tax cut, because the One Big Beautiful Bill handled that. Now, there's something that you might want to think about. Why do they want to cut $50 billion from rural hospitals? Because many of them, most of them, are in red states. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but I can't figure out any other reason they would argue for that. And by the way, if they care so much about health care for the American people, they would not shut the government down. Because you know what stopped today, among the other important programs and services, is women, infants, and children's nutrition programs. They have stopped sustenance for people, health care for veterans, medical services, mental health services, all the things that people rely upon. FEMA. How many of you know we're in the middle of hurricane season? There's 2 off the coast of the U.S. right now. They have stalled the work of FEMA, and they have prevented people from renewing or getting new flood insurance programs right now in the middle of this. It's dangerous, it is destructive, and it's unconscionable to us that Chuck Schumer should do this and would do this for his personal political reasons. How long, the only question that we'll leave you with this morning is, how long will the Democrats allow Chuck Schumer to drive them off this cliff? Every single American needs to ask that question. Thanks for being here this morning.
Well done.